Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody. Power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hey, this is former WWE superstar Duke the Dumpster Drosy, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Song every year that I'm saying, right?
I know what song you're singing. Absolutely.
Love that one. Just for this time of the year, though. Just for this time of the year.
It only makes sense this time of year.
Touche. Sir Michael Jenks with his hat on backwards. Mark the Mark over here. How the hell you guys doing? Jenksy, I'm stealing the show right off the bat.
Do it.
Went down to Pittsburgh last weekend, and I am a winner.
A winner?
Yeah. $100 card.
Woo!
To the Panther shop.
Nice. Very nice. Is that where that hat came from?
The new,
I noticed that.
The new hat for the year. I'm breaking it in. I got a pair of sweats. Max, if you follow me on TikTok or anywhere else, got a little bling as well. He needed a new collar, so he got a pit collar.
Very nice.
Well over 100 just with that. I got a T-shirt of Eli Holstein because I needed a kind of new player rep shirt to wear during the days. I got another hoodie that has it's not even a hoodie. I'll pull that back. Not a hoodie. Are they called crews that don't have a hoodie on it? Just a sweatshirt. Fuck, it's just a sweatshirt.
Oh, it's a crew sweatshirt, yeah.
With everything of Pitt behind it. Like, you see the cathedral, they show some of the old things. I'll send it to you later. But
that sounds nice.
Yeah, and I'm not a crew guy whatsoever. I don't know if it will be worn out of the house. I'll put it that way. It's probably going to be like a house one.
That makes sense. Yeah, I don't wear anything without a hood outside of the house. If I'm wearing a sweater, yeah. But
so I won $100 because of some raffles and stuff.
Nice.
I also had to pay $150 more.
The 100's just to get you in the door. Let's be honest.
Right.
Okay?
And then I got some socks as well. But there were other ones. There was like a $500, $250, and $100. So I kind of won third place.
Okay.
I still won. I'm a winner.
$100 is better than nothing.
But then I got in there. I'm like, whew, I got $100. And back in the day when sweats were only a quarter at Goodwill or something like that, that's how I felt in there. I'm like, oh yeah, I need this stuff. I'm like this stuff. Max needs a new collar because his was getting crappy, so he needs a nice one. That's what put me over the limit. Once I grabbed Max's thing, poor guy, I'm blaming it on him. Once I grabbed Max's thing and I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah. Treat yourself. Sometimes you just gotta spend, and treat yourself.
And it's all pit stuff, so it will go to use soon. So, the blue team won. I don't remember the score. I made it home safe. So
that's good. That's what matters.
That's what matters. And then I did a lot of softball. That's my week in a nutshell.
Oh, love it. Love that week for you.
You? Not so well.
Let's just say the mental health first aid that I'm going to take on Monday coming up is going to help out tremendously over the next 3 weeks for wedding planning. That's all I'm going to throw out there. Without getting into detail, we're on the hunt. We've got the appointment ready for the marriage license. It's coming up next week. It's we're getting through the weeks. We're burning through it. Not a busy week at work. It's the week before Easter. Nobody gives a shit, really. So it's kind of like we're just kind of muddling along here. Outside of that, it's a week of we need to find our decompression, just relaxing and kind of, we've had to have our moments of zen, basically, without getting into too much detail.
Were those wine part of that zen, or are you looking for more wine?
I'm good on wine right now. The wine is coming from me for what's coming out. But, it's a moment of zen when dealing with just planners that just seem to be complete and utter idiots at this point. But I digress, right? So, it's been a week. We're moving forward. I will say tomorrow is not going to probably be any funner because I need to get a real ID and I waited like the schmuck I have. And if anybody's been keeping track of that in your state,
Oof.
It's been something else. Kimberly went for her just an ID refresh earlier this week on Tuesday. A renewal. Thank you. 2-hour wait. That was getting there at 10:30, 2 hours after open. I had to update my coworker because she was going to go that afternoon to get hers updated. So she had another 2-hour wait. Then I found out her friend went yesterday, I think it was, and she said it was only a half hour, but she got there at 8:15 for the 8:30 open. So my thought is, my ass has got to get there by 8.
Oh,
or just to get out of there in a half hour.
Yeah, but first worker that goes into there, you need to follow them in.
If legally, not right away. Yeah. So I'm hoping it's warm like today because it's beautiful up here.
It's 70 down here.
75, something like that up here in Erie. So, I mean, as long as it's beautiful, we're gonna do it. But yeah, I'm the schmuck that waited. So here, my fault.
You kind of need it. Really quick.
I need it quicker than usual. But, I mean, the good thing is we're only driving to our honeymoon. Still would like to have it by. So, yeah. So that's been my week in a nutshell. Just decompression therapy. Oh, I will say this, though. 2 quick plugs here. The first of which, Erie Zoo put on a wonderful Chinese Lantern Festival last night. It's going for the next 2 months. It's on like Thursday through Sundays. Absolutely amazing. It was beautiful. We went for spoilers. Today is Kimberly's day of recording is Kimberly's birthday. So happy birthday, Kimberly! Wow! If you guys are listening to it, happy belated birthday to Kimberly. Woo! So we went for her birthday. It was very nice, very lovely. A lot of cool things that they had out, which was kind of nice.
Sounds interesting. That might be. I could make the swing.
Well, you have to go at night now. So.
I'm scared of the dark.
No, I know you are. But, yeah, nighttime. We went at 7. It was still daylight out. But then they had a main stage. They had a show for like 15 minutes, kung fu demonstration and all that. And then we walked around, and basically by the time we were done walking, it had become nightfall, and it was absolutely beautiful to see everything in the night. We're hoping
going to be a kung fu panda now.
No.
Okay.
I wish I could be. I do have some poses down now, but I don't want to scare people either.
Okay.
This panda is a love panda, not a fighting panda, so we'll just go that route.
It needs like some owl white right there.
There you go. Can we afford that?
Could not. All right, go ahead. Jump on your other one.
Oh, that was it. I actually blended it in. It was Kimberly's birthday. I wanted to shout her out and give her a happy birthday for that. So.
And we should have shouted her out first of all. God, for this, how much we are horrible people.
We're burying the lead. That's all we're doing here. Nothing
All the
big.
time.
All the time here. Just burying the lead.
Every show we bury the lead.
We find something to bury the lead, so it worked out.
Lee Corso after week 1.
That didn't add joy to this week. Although the clips have been great. Great reminder.
I love Lee. I love everything he does for NCAA. He's been slowly stepping away. So I like they're making sure that everything's going to be good. They're going to give him one big last hoorah of, I don't know where game day is going to be. I don't know if you know yet or anything, but I'm sure it's going to be probably moved to one of Lee's favorite places.
Yeah, it's purposely on August 30th, so I wonder who's playing that game. I'm guessing Ohio State. He's picked Brudai.
I was thinking that or Oregon, because he's a huge Oregon fan though too.
Fan.
Maybe they're coming to Pitt Duquesne game.
Well, maybe. That is a bracket buster. Oh, give me the 2025. Research department slacking over here. Okay, I got it now. Let me see what we have for week 1, 2025. As ESPN loads.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's up yet.
Oh, the obvious game is Texas at Ohio State.
There
it is. I don't even need to go any further.
Yeah, that's where they're at.
Yeah, there's no other game.
Sorry, Texas, you're not getting picked by Lee.
Yeah, no.
Does he turn villain like heel Cena?
He turns heel and just go one last time.
Hook 'em horns.
Hook 'em horns. I mean, no, Bama and Florida State's not going to get picked over that. Yeah, it's... Trying to see what games are. Yeah, there's nothing else.
Is Duquesne and Pitt...
you were right. You are a good season ticket holder. You know which one.
Is that highlighted? That's a big game probably on ACC 16.
It's not highlighted. Time is still to be determined, too. So
yeah, if it's not a noon game, I'd be shocked.
The only 3 games with a line right now are Bama, Florida State, LSU, Clemson, and Texas, Ohio State. So,
and I don't know how they have lines as of right now.
I don't know.
Not there.
Those are the 3 on Saturday.
Yeah, we're 6 months away from them.
Well, it's like how they do the top 25 already, and I'm like, that's not even going to be the same.
Right. Pitt still has people transferring after the spring games Saturday.
Well, hey, listen, there's a lot of teams that do. Tennessee's losing their quarterback. How about that one? I mean, trying to get $4 million, can only get $2 million. I think he's ended up with $900,000 after taxes and all that. Must be nice.
Poor college kids.
He got screwed. College kids. He screwed the pooch there, and now he's suffering the consequences.
Yeah. Along with everything else that he's getting in his pocket.
Yeah, I know, right?
You have anything besides wrestling before we kind of get into some stuff?
I got back into NCAA Football 25, so started a new dynasty. Actually, first took care of business, won my national championship game, which for some reason I left hanging out there for a couple months. Then started a new dynasty. I went balls to the wall and finally implemented the geographical conferences. Took about 30 minutes to set up, but it was well worth it.
Okay.
So, take everything you know about conferences, scrap it. It's really just based off of where you kind of reside. I'll just give you a couple examples. So, the Big Ten now, Ohio State, Purdue, Indiana, they've moved to the MAC, basically. So, Big Ten is essentially Nebraska, the Midwest, Michigan, and that MAC is pretty much part of Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio.
What is Pitt in, then?
Pitt is in technically Conference USA, which is the northeastern states. Do you want to hear who Pitt has to play against? Okay.
I do.
Pitt plays, has in their conference, Boston College, UMass, UConn, Syracuse, Army, Rutgers, Navy, Buffalo, Temple, Maryland, Penn State,
Ooh.
West Virginia.
I was excited about winning this whole thing.
And then Penn State and West Virginia, the backyard brawl, is enacted.
Good. Well, I'm glad West Virginia's in it. That can go. So Pitt could at least consistently be in the championship game.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's loaded that Penn State will be.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out, I can't remember how exactly I broke the lineup, but I was trying to divvy this up somehow where it wasn't loaded on one side or the other. But it was kind of difficult. So I gotta give a shout. If you guys have seen him on TikTok, Bordeaux, that kid that used to run the old games and that, he broke this down, and I basically took the screenshot of it because I was like, I gotta do this. But I picked Appalachian State, and I'm in the Sun Belt still. But you want to hear the Murderers Row that might be that's in this conference?
You need to send this to me because I need to do it and you do one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So the Sun Belt is now Memphis, Vandy, Western Kentucky, UAB, Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee State, Tennessee, Kennesaw State, Georgia Tech, Clemson, Georgia, South Carolina.
I love how you're saving all the teams that are
big
noteworthy in top 10
until
last all the time.
The worst conference by far is SEC.
Well, it always is.
Yeah, well.
You mean worst this time.
Like, you're fucked if you're in that conference.
Yeah.
Bama, Auburn, Florida State, Miami, Florida if they're good that year, UCF, yeah. You're basically Florida and then, like, Georgia, Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm intrigued with that. I want to do that now. I'm still going to pick a scrub team.
Yeah.
We'll talk more now that
we'll talk. Yeah.
We'll talk more off it because everybody's like, great. We're going to have to listen to this for a whole year now.
I just sent Mark the thing. I mean, it was a fun way to change it up because I was like, I've always switched, Oregon, Washington State, all of them back to the West Coast. So it's like, this was the best way to do it, to kind of reset things.
You know, I was always ready to go Coastal Carolina.
Yeah.
That's not that bad for them.
Not for the Chanticleers.
Vatek every once in a while. Virginia's fallen off. North Carolina's good. Otherwise, that's the ACC now.
That's the ACC now. Yeah. I think I just named the conferences. I did all divisions, so I think I named those divisions just Virginia and Carolinas and called it a day, so it worked out evenly for the ACC.
Yeah, I'm all in for this.
Yeah.
I don't know when this is going to happen for me because as a wrestling fan, as a wrestling podcast, this is a crazy-ass week.
This has been a crazy-ass week, yeah.
As recording tonight, there is some things that I'm going to watch after or during editing that are, I believe GCW's on. There's some random shows on that I can get with my box. Stand and Deliver starts at 1 tomorrow.
I know.
WrestleMania at 4 if I want to watch 18 hours of pregame.
Are you watching 18 hours of pregame?
They'll get my viewership.
But it'll be, yeah.
I still have to do dishes. I have to to sit and watch. I'll have Stand and Deliver on and watch the matches that I want to.
Yeah.
The pregame thing will be on. Just kind of noise in the house. Get Mac acclimated that we're not doing anything but that the rest of the day.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think, I didn't intentionally do this, but I think Kimberly Hurd us talking about WrestleMania and how I said, oh, I'm going to watch it Sunday morning and Sunday night, because I know a lot of you listeners are like, well, didn't you say you had to split it? As soon as I came out, she's like, why don't we go Thursday? It seems like it's going to be a good night for everything. So that's when everything shifted over. So she was very nice about that, whether she wanted to admit it or not. But
she heard.
She's
still listening to the podcast and giving us.
That could be two.
Listen.
One of the two. But yeah, I think for me, it's going to end up being Stand and Deliver is probably going to be Sunday morning still, because I'm still going to be awake a little bit. And then I'll do probably night 1, night 2 in the respective spots. But I think that's how I'm going to split up. I don't think there's going to be any pregame, because
it's way too much.
It's way too much, and I'm letting her watch whatever she wants and all of that stuff to kind of, for her benefit.
Oh, so, you're going to allow her a TV. That's very
I'm going
nice.
to give her, I know, sounds really asshole of me, but, no, she's got the main TV until game time, basically.
Till 7 o'clock.
Till 7 o'clock. And then I'll obviously commandeer it, but.
Then she can go in her corner. No, I'm sorry.
No, she's good. She's a good sport. She'll watch right off the gate. She's going to watch Jey Uso, that's for sure. Because basically that got revealed prior to the recording. That's going to open night 1, Jey and Gunther, and then night 2 was the triple threat for the women.
Yep.
So, I mean, she's a Jey Uso, right? She eats. She bought me the eat glasses and everything.
Predictions coming in segment 3. And I'm going to try not to ruin any of mine as we truck along.
I can't promise anything.
Yeah, I can't either. Covered in Nugs is already. This is Covered Nugs number 2, by the way. And it is. Oh, it's only 6.7. I swore that looked like an 8 earlier.
Now, wait a minute. Now that you're 2 in, are you sure it's a 6?
I don't know.
Mine's 6.0. I've only had one cutie from Market Garden, so.
Well, I'm only having one more Covered in Nugs. Then I'm going to head over to the Guinness Open Gate Baltimore Blonde.
Oh, okay.
I've never had, so I don't know.
You're going to have to let me know how that is. I think
after New York. It says blatantly right on it.
Brewed in New York.
Baltimore.
Not at the Guinness.
No, guess not.
I don't know
about that now. Listen, now that I'm actually looking at it and saying, huh.
Now he's very much second guessing this choice.
This is going to be a bad choice. But let's get into wrestling, Jenks. Okay? I have 2 things right off the get. And I'll separate them. We can go back and forth like we did last week. But, maybe we only take 1 break. How about that today?
Okay. We do take 1 break?
Randomness and then right into predictions because we want to ruin it.
Let's do it, yeah. That's fine. We'll do 1 break. We'll do whatever's hot in wrestling or whatever we want to talk to. Yeah. Go from there.
And we won't even do anything else. So my big one is surrounding Paige/Saraya.
Okay.
Lots of reports out there right now. Definitely done with AEW. Has done that. She's got her book tour going out there. She's promoting her book a little bit. I don't know if it was a slip or if it's a, hey, maybe it's Stand and Deliver. She didn't say this, but this is now me rotating everything in my mind. I wouldn't mind being the gal in NXT once again.
Huh?
Perfect timing, right?
It would be perfect timing. I would assume that the women that have basically won the title very quickly in their tenure are going to be shifted off very quickly up to the main roster. So why not add somebody that could also benefit from what NXT provides?
Yeah.
And the legend at that token.
We love Paige in the main roster without a doubt. Everything she did. So I wanted to stick there and spin. Was she bigger in NXT than the main roster?
Oh, 100%.
That
the feud with AJ, as much as we wanted to see it, did nothing. Didn't do well for her.
It sent AJ away.
It did. They sent AJ away. Then when she came back, they just didn't click because it just didn't flow right. And I think that just set the tone for Paige because she had to defend against Tamina and this person and that person. Just didn't do it right. She was the woman that ran the place in NXT.
Yep. And now you throw the youngsters in there because I'm going to throw them out there. Core that bounces back and forth. Would Paige be used on TNA NXT to, do some of that? Core is the one instantly in my head that would, I think, benefit. Core doesn't need benefiting, you know what I'm saying, but
right.
Her in a Paige, segment, storyline, I think is amazing. Roxy, if she doesn't show up Monday night.
Yeah, it would be perfect scenario because that's the same thing. Which, don't even get me started on the Roxy main roster path. Yeah.
But one that I'm thinking of, and she just returned, and she's a Pittsburgh girl through and through. I think a Paige Thea Hale would do something. Thea's now into a title contention.
Yeah.
NXT. She's going to be thrown into that mix at Stand and Deliver. Just saying. I don't know if it was a leak or if it was a little subtle, whatever, but she's cleared, right?
So that's the gray area, though. She was cleared by AEW and their doctors. She has never been cleared by WWE, but that was old regime. Would the new regime clear her? I mean, you can't say they'd clear her off the body of work she had in AEW because it didn't really do anything. So it's kind of hard to figure out what their game plan would be for that. I do think it would be a bit rushed to do it now.
I do too.
I think they wanted to take their due diligence and test out what can she actually do? What is she actually able to do? And is there something more that they can help her get to make sure that that neck stands whatever punishment they're going to put it through? Because now you're entering a ball field with more realistic, stiffer shots versus what was going on back in the 2010s.
Right. Do you think she would, no pun, do you think her return would be of impact or, get ready, we loved when she made her debut in AEW, but then it went. Or would it be like that? Is there enough people clamoring to see Paige come back?
I don't know. Because did the Mystique get killed off when she came back in AEW or not?
I'm a fan. If she gets cleared and can be in the ring and whatever she can do for the youngsters there, she's thrown her up around wrestling. It's in her blood. Legit in her blood.
Yeah.
I'd be excited to see her do maybe not specialty matches, but special matches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I wouldn't mind that. I don't mind, and as I'm getting older, I understand now the Undertaker, the Lesnars, the this, the that. I understand the part-time thing in WWE.
Right.
Part-time in AEW doesn't work yet because they don't have said legends because of that.
Yeah, and their business model is you wrestle every week and you bust your ass every week.
Right. So I think she goes to NXT, helps Shawn out, do some stuff behind the scenes, keeps it in, her mojo flowing. I don't think I'd mind it.
Yeah.
I think if she would just happen to peek her head out the curtain in Vegas, the place would go apeshit crazy.
Right. I would absolutely agree. Vegas is probably the best place she could debut outside of England. at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my number one, because I kind of heard some rumors, and I'm like reading some of this stuff, and I'm like, oh, I thought she was really taking time off and like doing books, this, that, and the other, but it could all be hogwash, but we like to stir the pot.
This is how it always starts, though. They throw the hook, they throw the bait out, see who's biting, right? Is WWE going to bite and say, hey, we're interested in having a conversation, or is Trips like, we don't want that conversation?
Right. What do you got?
I gotta go. Mine is more general of, I know they're doing this on their own and having their own conversations, and I get that people are adults, but my God almighty, the podcast loop this week has just been PR nightmare for a lot of people, depending on what you think. Also, and I'm throwing Tiffy into this because when she did Gorilla Position and just basically lambasted Charlotte off of it, you're not going well this week. I don't know what's happening. It's, people's opinions are going out. That's great. Kayfabe is dead. Dead in the water. And I think we knew that, but Jesus Christ, everywhere I turn, somebody's on a podcast and spilling their guts about everything. So, good God almighty.
You would think, since it is WWE's Super Bowl and everything, you think they would tell them to pull back during this week. Hey, if you have one scheduled, tell them in a month who you'll go on. Apologize, or it's cut out every year. WrestleMania, you guys shut the hell up. Stay wherever you are. You have enough WWE things that you're going to be responsible for doing. Yes. Don't go on Can Crushers. Don't go on, and I'm not slamming the other guys or anything, but don't go on them, because you're going to be so tired and so worn out that they're going to ask you something and it's going to slip.
Yeah. 100%. And I get it. Right now it's the PR aspect of it all. I'm trying to get out there and say, hey, WrestleMania's this weekend. Let's market. But listen, you guys have listened to Can Crusher Spotlight episodes. We get personal. Podcasts are going to get personal. Van Fleet, amazing podcast. Exactly. They had a great podcast this week. I laughed when Kevin Owens showed up in the room, and then she continued with that story about the blue Gatorade and the antifreeze.
Right.
They're going to get personal. They want to know that information. They're not trying to dig it out of you, but
they're trying.
And the way things are in the country now, and opinions are very strong and very much out there, you're going to get people that are going to come at you left and right, no matter what you do or say.
Yep.
So it's like one of those things where you kind of have to watch the minefields, don't play into it. I think the only one that maybe I can say, okay, you know what, things have gone awry for the most part anyways, is with Tiffy, because who the hell knows what's a work, shoot, scripted with these two anyways. So her going on a podcast lambasting her it's already happened on live TV.
Both of them right now, I want to see what happens. I want to see if they get shoot-ish, if they are working us 100%, whatever. Both of them don't look good right now, though. I don't want either one to be the champ right now.
I don't know who planned this, decided this thing. It looks messy and terrible.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how this has gotten to this point.
I don't either.
So
it's awesome we're staying with the women. They're going to run the show this week, because I have another one that I really want to get out here.
Okay.
Is AEW really letting Mariah May walk?
That was going to be my next one, too.
Well, what the hell?
The fuck are they thinking with this? You have
nothing else booked for her?
Yeah, you can't book anything else for her? You're insane.
Leave her and Tony alone for a year, but I always use this, and everybody always knows. Right now, that's Steamboat and Flair.
Yeah.
But it's Savage Steamboat. Like, what they've done is amazing. Amazing. Let them sit and simmer for a little bit. This can be rekindled.
Yeah.
Tony can carry on a match with my beer cans in front of me right now. So can Mariah. I just don't understand it. You're just... It should be, you were just one of the longest reigning champions.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a shit ton of money. Stay here.
Yeah. Just hang in. Pillar. You are a pillar.
Yeah.
Like, we want you, Mercedes, Tony, seemingly Stat, to be our 4.
Yeah.
Let us build off of you. Throw the money that way. I don't understand. It's like they get the hint that they want to go to the Fed, and they're like, their sympathizer, get them out of here. And that's just what it seems like at this point.
I worry for her if she does go to WWE.
Yeah.
Everybody knows how much I love Carmella. And I love... She would have a nice run for a little bit. Mariah's littler. She is. Her and Tiffy would probably be good just because it's, if Mariah keeps the glamour, WWE might not let her keep the glamour.
I think that's a good point. Even if WWE lets her keep her personality and her the vocals, the just talking piece of it, I think it forces her into conversations. Because we can't say, I get what you're saying with, she's littler, there's a lot of muscular, bigger name, like women in there, but you have an Io Sky who, yes, is a bigger name in the international market, but she's making headway.
Yeah, that I want to see.
Yeah. It's the talent, I think, that supersedes it and pushes it forward. And I think if I'm WWE, I am recognizing that is a very talented woman that I want on the roster. But to your point, we're going to get to a point where they got with the men where you've overloaded your women's roster and nobody can make a move.
Yeah, because there's 2 waiting to come up in the NXT right now. Unless they're getting bumped up right to the get. And I think it might be too early for either one because there's still a lot going on with the main roster women right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have Steph and Julia down there. Maybe Mariah shifts into NXT and runs that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But she's a year then and gets called up to the main roster because she's already there. This is not a knock. She's not a Jade that needed to be walked with, even from AEW to Bianca carrying her for a while. Mariah's done Stardom. Mariah's done everything.
Yeah.
Mariah's done Can Crushers. She knows. She's been around the world on the greatest podcast ever. I'm just saying, like...
She knows how to do that publicity.
Yeah, she's just maybe a year from getting that main roster, and then Rhea's still running it. Tiffy's just starting to run it.
But then you
continue to run AEW.
I think that's when you start playing the game of when do they start forcing out the older generation, like your Charlottes, like your Baileys. Like, and let's be honest, I mean, you have, like, even though she's not back yet, Asuka, these are older generation women of the last regard. Even Io's up, nothing against her, but she's in her mid to late 30s. Dakota's in the same boat. Bex is gone. She's gone. It's the page is starting. I didn't want to say page, but I'm going with it. The page is starting to turn, right?
You finish her in it too.
Yeah, I know, right? Bring her, loop her right back in. But it's turning. We're going to a new chapter. Maybe they recognize that and say, it doesn't matter if Mariah's in NXT for a year. We at least have her in our back pocket, and we can bring her up and ease her in. And then you have the Lyras, you have all of these talented women who can just be on the main roster and be good.
Yeah. I get it. I really do. I think it's not a knock on Mariah if she wants to go there and do all of that, because I'm super excited wherever she goes to continue to follow. This is a knock on AEW saying, what the fuck are you doing? Come on, Tony. Daddy's got the money. I don't understand what you're doing.
To that point, when does Tony Storm walk? I think she takes out. She's going to listen when the contract's up.
You're a fool not to it these days.
Yeah. You are the best thing happening in AEW right now. You have to listen.
Yeah. I agree. What do you got?
Going off the topic of retirements or soon-to-be retirements, Roman has mentioned he's got 1 to 2 left in the tank. Seth has capped himself at 45. And I think that ends up being 6 years for Seth, if I'm right.
Well, WrestleMania it's 5. 41, 42, 43, 45. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure if he was talking age or not, but I missed that clip. My head went off. But
you're...
So if he's talking
WrestleMania,
I see that. So that'd be 4 years, but I thought I saw it was age. So that puts him about 6 years, we'll call it. Time is running short on Roman, on Seth. The Shield's going to be out the door here pretty soon, too. Go ahead.
I think the younger legends already, and yes, we're calling them that because they're both first ballot. They're both probably multiple-time Hall of Famers. The Shield's going to get in as the Shield. When Spock/Ambrose is done doing whatever, and they're all done, boom, they're in. He's going to come back. You're going to have that. 2 of the 3 will get in solo. Not sure about Ambrose getting in solo, unless it's later down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think his problem was ever with trips. So I think Trips would be very, very okay with that. But then again, to your point, the Dean Ambrose has not had that stellar of a career.
Right. He wore a gas mask for a hell of a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oof.
But I think essentially they're Gen Xers like us.
Yeah.
The Gen X wrestlers are like, we've made it. We've made the money. We know there's other things after wrestling. We have the kids. I don't want to be, and this is not a knock, I don't want to be Flair trying to continue to get money because I've blown it away. I don't want to be in a bad shape of like One Man Gang or, Abdullah wrestling into the 60s. I think your longest active reigning wrestler for a long time of age-wise, Cena. I don't think we're going to get many that are going to wrestle into their 60s anymore.
That's not the desire anymore.
Definitely, I'm saying this on the well. You might get wrestlers still wrestling into the 60s here and there, whatever. But Cena can still pull off a match and look good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit slower, but he still watch, Sunday night. I'll just say it will be like, holy shit. Yes, he's part-timer. I understand.
Yeah.
Even during his final year, it's still better than watching, and I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I don't want to, wrestler X from the 80s.
Right.
It's trying to do something on an indie show. It just looks bad.
Yeah. Well, go down the route of that past generation. The safety precautions, not there. The medical advancements, not there, so that when you're seeing it in their 50s, in their 60s, they're dealing with all of that. To your point about the Flares and all of that stuff that are just, they partied all the time and everything. It just wasn't a sustainable lifestyle. Now you have guys in 40 years later, 50 years later, you have a nutritionist, you have a doctor that looks at your knee if it goes creaks. You make a noise in your joint, you're going to have 5 people on you examining you saying you don't do that, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Seth could probably still win a CrossFit.
Oh, 100%. I think he could. 100%. That's where it's at. It's the difference between 40 years. And, they're going to be walking around. They're going to be very family oriented in that time frame, and they're not going to be smoking cigs, drinking Budweisers, or doing lines off the benches in the locker room. I mean, it's just the way it is. You're going to have a healthier lifestyle. It's going to be good.
The ring this week.
I watch some things, but, it's like you're in a healthier state. And it's going to put you in the best possible position wherever. So,
you brought up Roman and Seth essentially to start this whole conversation off. Both of them have Hollywood knocking at the door for any and every action movie out there. So,
yeah, exactly. They can go wherever they want, do whatever they want. They have The Rock in their corner to help facilitate that. So,
yeah. Where do I want to go? Since we both stole each other's Mariah one. AEW. Listen, I watched highlights this week just because we did a lot of softball games. So I'm not sure what happened. I saw what happened, but it was good, but it wasn't anything that stood out because of so much talk about WrestleMania this week, about this, about that, and do you have anything that you want to really say, oh my God, AEW?
I'm going to say this. If you want to watch two matches from Dynamite, Monet and Athena tore the house down, and obviously Ospreay and Takeshita tore the house down. And I say this, they were 5-star matches through and through. Now, what I'll also say is they played very much into, we're not going to say it, but we're going to say we are the longest reigning Turner broadcasting thing, not including Shotgun Saturday Night or WCW Saturday Night, right? So
that was before I was born, but yeah. We're talking primetime shows.
We're talking primetime shows. They played into that heavy. Outside of those two matches, you didn't miss much. We're developing the storyline so in May it can hit the gas for Double or Nothing. Because before we know it, the Owen tournament's going to be pretty much wrapped up until the finals hit on Double or Nothing. I think everything's going to be wrapped up by the end of April for that. So it's going to be a month bill for the finals, a month bill for everything else, whatever the hell MJF and the Hurt Syndicate are trying to do. That's kind of where we're at right now. You're not wrong. There's two great, fantastic matches in a celebratory moment at the end to crown new trios champions, which all I can say is hopefully they do something with it.
You remember when I went to Buffalo and the trios champions were the Elite the night before, and then we got the whole CM Punk Perry thing, and then got stripped the night we were there. They have not delivered anything with these trios champions since that night. There's been some cool teams, there's been some cool this and that. It's never been, I think, where AEW wanted to go with this. Like, make it, again, I'll go back to NWA/WCW when it was the Road Warriors and Dusty carrying it, or the Russians. I know it was only defended every so often back then, but when it was defended, it was must-watch TV at 6:05 Saturday night.
Yeah.
It was something, oh my God, the 6-man titles are going to be on the line. This is awesome. Against the Malkies and me. Or whatever. Yeah. It was still made something above it. Now it's just, yep. They have titles too.
Yeah. I think what hurt them is after the best of 7 and after the House of Black won it from the Elite, which was phenomenal. They didn't give House of Black the run it needed, and it killed both of them. Yeah, it killed both of them, because then it was hot potato, and then it was just a story plot. And then now you're also have another 6-man trios championship in ROH, which doesn't have enough teams to support anyways. Now you have 2, and you're really splitting it apart at this point. who knows how long the ops have it, but at the same token, the Trios champion is just kind of dead in the water at this point.
It is.
But they used it as a celebratory prop, which was really extra, but it's also leading me to believe it's Mox and Joe at Double or Nothing. The way that match ended.
You know, like how you ended your little segment there, lingering with Mox. Because I don't know if you know, Darby started his climb earlier than suspected.
Yeah.
So he's on his way up Mount Everest and will be back for All In.
Yeah.
So.
Is he back for All In for a match, or is he just showing up at All In?
I would listen. I would think just showing up.
Yeah, I would think too.
Completed, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think he's good. I think they're gonna have All In, and then he's gonna be the next title defense after that.
Yeah. Not All Out. Which one's first?
Well, see, All In's in July, so All Out's not until September. So there could be All Out.
There could be. Yeah, there could be. You can give him a month.
Yeah, because I think All In it's standalone right now until whatever they do in August.
They're not back to back again.
No, they're not back.
Which I hope they never do that again. By the way,
I thought that was so dumb.
Yeah,
this made no sense.
None, not whatsoever. None.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my big thing was Darby. Darby will be back for All In. Leaked. Okay. Again, peeking his head.
You heard it here first.
Peeking his head through the curtain.
Peeking his head through the.
Shut up. Covered in nuts.
Those nuts are messing with your head.
They are. I like it. You actually can taste a little bit of a piney into it.
Can you?
Yeah. You've heard this probably many times on here. I'm a big fan of pine things. Like I like pine sol, not lemon fresh pine sol. I want the pine or anything that I get that can be piney in this house. You know.
Yeah.
My scents in the Jeep are pine. Like I like pine. I hate being in the fucking woods. Everybody knows that. But I like the smell of woods. So it gives me like, as I'm driving through Pittsburgh, I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice. I'm in the forest in PNC Park's right next to me. So I like to eat pine cones. I like to eat pine cones once in a while too.
Whatever gets you through the day, man. I like pine. I do like pine. I think mine's cinnamon though. I'm obsessed with cinnamon. I have to like smell cinnamon all the time.
Real cinnamon or like red hot cinnamon? Because you know there's two differences, right?
Yeah. It's both. I don't mind either. I really like both. Whatever I can get, obviously, is what I'm going to roll with. Like if you get the scent pads from Glade or whatever it is, those scent pods, they're apple cinnamon. Perfect. Okay, it's got a little bit of apple, a little bit of sweetness, it's got cinnamon in it. But then you can get like your red hot cinnamon from, Big Red and you're getting obsessed with that or, whatever it is. But I like cinnamon.
I like cinnamon too, but I think my cinnamon is more the red hots, the Big Red
That's
gum.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Which the shot, not that I do it anymore.
Fireball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the smell of it, but
yeah.
I'm not 18 drinking legally anymore that I need shots for it all.
I can't remember the last time I had a fucking Fireball shot.
Me neither. And I hope I never remember it.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
If I do. This is the part of the podcast that goes off the train because we're ready for WrestleMania. We really are, right?
We are. Yep, we are. Are we ready? We're just going to move it?
Yeah, guys, you know where to find us. Facebook, Instagram, X.
It's going to give it to you.
But what?
It's going to give it to you.
Yeah.
That's where my head goes all the time. Go ahead. Don't worry about me. I'm just over here spouting. Cutie's hitting me pretty good. It's all right.
You can reach out to us at cancrusher69@gmail.com. You can drop us a DM anywhere you want to. Don't forget we have affiliate codes and stuff that Jenks wants to tell you about.
Yeah, we have affiliate codes through WWE Shop. You can get a plethora of things. It's not going to get you discounts, but it'll at least support the podcast. There's Cactus Jack collection out here, apparently. I've seen better. Just saying. Anyways, but also, collar and elbow. Put that discount code in there, Can Crushers. Save yourself 15%, I think it is. 10%? What 10. Is it? 10. I knew it was 10. It's been too long since I did one of these promo things that these kids always do. And we're doing them in the wrong order in that same, but we're doing them. We're doing them here. Yeah. And then we also have merch out there as well on CrowdMade. Go out there. We have hoodies, tanks, tees. Get out there, support Can Crushers, and wear them about. You're going to get multiple colors of hoodies, just saying. I have 3 of them, black, blue, and green.
I was going to say there's a forest green one. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
Cool.
Get after it.
You want to be cool. There's also pink and purple, too, for everybody.
Yeah.
Because I love pink and purple. Actually, I was going to wear my baby face hoodie before, but I'm like, I'm breaking in this new hat, so that's I have fair. To.
You got to match.
Yeah, I match for a podcast that nobody.
Yeah, you have to. Nobody can. I can see. So I did the same thing. I'm wearing my Elias shirt, who doesn't exist anymore, and my Seawolves hat because I got to match. Gotta go red.
It's a great Seawolves hat because I have the same one.
Yeah, the faux back one, amazing.
Yeah. I'm waiting until May 5th. I can't wait to break out that Seawolves hat that I have, my Pinata one.
Yes, I have that one too. That one's ready.
Holidays of the year. What day is that this year? It's a Monday.
It's a Monday. Yeah.
It seems like May 5th never falls on a weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It did last year. I know it.
Technically. No, then I was doing the math. I'm like, did it last year? I can't remember. But yeah, it did last year, so.
We don't remember it. All right, we've rambled enough. We're going to take a quick break, come back, and it's time for WrestleMania. Predictions here on Can Crushers.
It's Miss Reality, Maddie Runkowski, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I mean, it's not as real as me, but you could listen to my episode.
Welcome back, everybody, to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. But we're taking a detour before we do WrestleMania predictions because as always, it's wrestling related though. Mark, I stumbled upon on Fanatic site a Cactus Jack collection, and Cactus Jack is Mick Foley. I'm expecting a Dead or Alive t-shirt, wanted, whatever. What the fuck is happening in this collection? What is this collection?
Why is there Cactus Jack X WWE OTC t-shirt Roman Reigns for $55? On the front it says OTC. On the back it says hit as hard as hard, or hit hard, hit often. What does this have to do with Cactus Jack?
Yeah,
or Roman Reigns?
100%. Did you see the Cactus Jack Vegas hoodie? That's $140. Is this some
Cactus Vegas Jack? And then the back says WrestleMania.
For $140.
100. Would piece of clothing, non-autographed, let me specify that, would you pay for $140? It wouldn't be this hoodie, would it?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There is a Cactus Jack hoodie that says Wanted Dead or Alive. If you scroll down more, that's $175.
With nothing on the back.
Yeah. So I figured it out. I typed in Cactus Jack. This is all a part of Travis Scott's line of merchandise. His collab with WWE. I don't understand the tie-in with Cactus, but that's what it's on his site, so I'm guessing it's his.
There's nothing on this that you could give me, first off and foremost, or that I want to pay for it. if anything, the Punk one, because there's nothing on it but Punk's, hands with the X'd out on it, and there's nothing on the back of the shirt. Or it says straight edge, it's black on black, so you really can't see that it says straight edge.
Yeah.
The Punk one would be the only one that I want. It's $55 for a t-shirt, first and foremost.
Yeah.
No. A Randy Orton hat is $55.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
But you could use our code to go buy these if you want them.
Yeah, I mean, if you're all for it, go buy them. But
they're ugly.
If you can also explain why Travis Scott has a Cactus Jack line,
yeah.
I would have buy a replica hardcore new title, right? Like a play toy one, if they had it available. But I'm assuming it's going to be like $800 because the replica title's $1,200.
But it's not. That was never the Hardcore Championship.
It wasn't.
The Winged Eagle was the one that was broken up and became the Hardcore. Not just the WWE one that they have now.
Yeah. I just think it's a cool, if you wanted to do reimagine previous things or something like that, you'd go do the Hardcore title with the new belt, right? And that would be something cool. Not $1,200.
Somebody's buying it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. The belt collectors out there are buying it.
100%. 100%. And more power to them, but I would not buy that belt.
No. I'm still waiting to buy my NWA Red TV Championship, which I don't know why I've never pulled the trigger on it, because I know once I get it, I'm like, now what do I want?
Now what do you do? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to go on the wall, and then you're going to be like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, I got it. Cool. Done. But my life of collecting is over.
Let's say we had money, okay? What would be the most you'd spend on a belt be?
Probably 500.
That's where I'm at. 500. So that would eliminate all the Triple H 30-year legacy belts.
I know.
$5.99 for the undisputed title. You can get a commemorative belt though for $3.69. So pretty much, if you want a replica belt, it's out of the question.
Right.
Yeah. I think I'm the same.
From this place.
From this place, yeah.
I know
there's other means.
Really good ones that
yeah,
you can't tell.
I was going to say there's other means to find belts if you want. But from this place, absolutely not. And especially a Pirates belt, I'm not buying for $5.49 if I was a Pirates fan, because why would I invest in that?
Oh, man. We're getting to predictions.
Yeah, we are.
Brought this up now. So the Pirates just unleashed, I don't know if you've seen this, they have unleashed where second base was at Three Rivers. They everybody knows everything that happened with the Pirates. They ripped up all the bricks around the stadium that people paid for and donated for Grandma and Grandpa to have their names on the walk and this, that, or the other. If not, look that up, because that's a debacle within itself. So the Pirates recently unleashed where second base used to be. It's in the parking lot in between essentially PNC and Heinz Field, where Roberto Clemente got his 3,000th hit. So they put that into the sidewalk or whatever.
Nice.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Roberto Clemente is probably the number one pirate out there. They're still riding his coattails and still shitting on him at the same time.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Read into this, folks, if you're not a Pirate fan. But then they put where Pitcher's Mound was, too, okay?
Okay.
They have Pitcher's Mound. And then what do you call what the pitcher pitches from? What does he need to touch for it to be a legal pitch?
Oh, the rubber?
Correct.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows softball, baseball, it's called the rubber, right?
Yeah.
The rubber's on Pitcher's Mound.
Yeah.
Well, it's already in the sidewalk, and it says Pitcher's Plate.
What?
Yeah. Go and find it. It says pitcher's plate. They have a big circle of like where the mound is.
Yeah.
But where the rubber is that you keep your foot on as you're pitching, it says pitcher's plate. Ready? Welcome to Can Crushers. We both are huge wrestling fans, but we also have worked in minor league baseball. We've both played baseball. We fucking love baseball as well as much as wrestling.
Yeah.
In my 48 years of being on this earth, I have never heard Bob Costas or any of the greats call it pitcher's plate.
No, neither have I.
Well, the
Not even. They're truly innovators of dumbassery, is what they are. This is between Heinz Field and PNC Park?
Uh-huh. Probably, I don't know, like right around like A&E area where the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stage AE. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to be walking through it, over it, looking at it, and everybody's going to be like, what the fuck is pitcher's plate?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I'd make a captain, like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Oh,
I understand the second base, first and
Yeah.
foremost. I do. That's cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
Why are you putting the pitcher's mound of where it was?
Well, exactly. I mean, I don't know of any other city that does it like Pittsburgh because they have Ford's Field's home plate.
Yep.
Where it was located. And I think they did in Oakland. And I think they did all of the bases maybe or something, because I think there's one in the hospital that's over there as well, from what I understand. But anyways, I don't know of any other city that does this for any other major teams, and I could be missing out on this. It's a cool concept, but why are you fucking up what the hell it's called?
Right. I understand maybe you don't want to, for other reasons, put the rubber.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just put the fucking triangle down and people will know, oh, it's not a triangle, Mark. You're an idiot, just like Bob Nutting. Put the rectangle down in a big circle. People are like, oh.
That's what it is.
It himself. Oh, that's the rubber.
Yeah. Or, to that point, just you have the pitcher's mound, indicated as a pitcher's mound. Nobody needs to know that's called a rubber, that's called anything else. It's called a mound. Right? Now I get it. I just came up with a joke after you said Nutting's name. Nutting's rubbers would happen at probably every week.
Right.
It's like pulling the L off of a public dock sign. So.
WrestleMania.
It's WrestleMania. We got a wrestling show.
Yeah, we do. I don't care how you go, but we have to predict the very first match very first, right?
We do.
And then you run with this. Because that's you are the guy, I'm the writer.
I did some research. Bleacher Report has out here their projected order of matches. They've already got night 1 and night 2's opening matches correct. Okay. So I'm just going to go off of what they have for night 1, night 2, and we're going to go that round. You good? Sweet. Let's do this. All right. Obviously, night 1, we're starting with the World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Mark, what say you?
What say me is the same thing I say last week, essentially, when I was ruining this one. I don't for Jey. In my heart of hearts, I don't. I think Gunther needs to win. I think would mean more. Gunther has more opponents that are locked and loaded, ready to go, make a trade, get Randy over there, get any of the bigs between Drew and Priest back over there, do something like that. Because the other side has the wrestling capability of Cody, even Cena's going to do whatever he does, yada, yada, yada. You always need two big, meaty men going at it, right?
Yeah.
but I'm going to pick Jay because it's fucking leading off the show. If this was match 4, it's Gunther's to go.
Right.
You have to give the crowd now. They ruined this one. They ruined this match for me. Everybody's going to yeet for 15 minutes, and then Jay's going to do what he does. And I don't know. I think we're going to get back to his brother, essentially, which, listen to last week's show, I'm not excited about.
Well, I'm glad we are right back into the swing of things, agreeing on things. You had me for a second there. I thought you were going to go Gunther, but I'm yeeting, not because I have glasses, but I think there's a reason it's match 1, and I think it impacts everything after it. I just think, and to your point, match 1, they're going to get the pop, they're going to get the yeets. They want Jay to have his celebration. You know, Jay has gotten to the point where he can earn this. So I think it's going to be, I think it's Jay Uso. And I'm going to leave it there.
All right.
For now.
We'll circle back around.
We're
on the same page.
We're definitely circling back around to this.
Because at the end of night 1. Go ahead.
I don't know about the end of night 1. We'll see.
Yeah.
Up next, the hottest new star in WWE, El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. It's my choice, I think. And I'm going to go Rey Mysterio because El Grande Americano is going to lose his face and lose his mask during this match.
He lost everything already this week because WWE photographers are so damn good. And I mean that backhanded compliment. Listen, everybody knows of knowing Chad Gable, but dude, you took the picture at the wrong time to show the Greco-Roman tattoo that Chad Gable has. Now, even with that had happened, I still think no matter what, Ray was winning this.
Yeah.
Even more to come with Ray, I think, too. So we have Jay Ray.
Jay Ray going
right now.
I'm intrigued where you're going with the Ray piece of this for later on, I'm assuming. Okay. I also want to point out, though, if he beats El Grande Americano, and I don't know what his, before he started facing Dom, Ray's on a 3-0 winning streak if he beats El Grande Americano here at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I think that's worth calling out. Is he just Mr. WrestleMania until Damo beats him and retires him at some point? Something to think about. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going on with my eye, but we're going. All right. World Tag Team Championships. The War Raiders versus New Day. We saw this, I think it was last week. New Day got disqualified. The War Raiders got disqualified. What you got?
No, I'm actually intrigued about this. I wonder if something's going to happen prior to match and we're going to get a little funny business or something like that because of the craziness we have had in this pseudo feud. I want them both to win because I think the War Raiders are finally getting their comeuppance because for the love of fuck they've been buried by every name that they have had in the main roster. They did so much amazing stuff in NXT, but you forgot who they were.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to lose this. But I do want New Day as the sons of bitches because I'm now on them. I love them being sons of bitches. It's about time there's heelish stuff going on with them. I wouldn't mind them being the tag champs for a little bit of a run and then flip-flopping it back or maybe where the Street Profits at. Not that I'm fans of them, but like sprinkling people in, right?
Yeah. I mean, they already have a tag title, so.
Right, I know. I know. But I'm just like...
Yeah. Getting people to face them and building them back up, basically.
Right. Just other stuff. You know, I'm all right with that. I think we get Big E, essentially, costing New Day the match.
Oh, okay.
And the War Raiders keep the title. I don't think because of everything they turned on him and everything, he's going to give too loud of a pop. Even if he does turn heel, tries to do something, I think this is an elongated story. Backlash is a fucking 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
Something needs to carry over, and some of your big ones aren't going to. This could be a co-main event in Backlash.
That's fair. I love that theory. However, this might be what separates us. I can't formulate words anymore. War Raiders, I think, are losing the titles because I think they want to give New Day a little bit of a heel run with it, and I think they want to feed that a little bit. So I'm going New Day here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'd love that.
Yeah, I think it would be fun to see. I also don't think it's going to be that long. Because I feel like it might be a short reign for them, whatever that reign looks like. But
do you have Big E in and around?
I have Big E in and around, but I don't know if it's during WrestleMania or it's after WrestleMania. Okay. Because there's too much going on at WrestleMania that I think they could hold off on Big E coming into the picture, if you will.
Okay.
So, all right. Up next, Jade versus Naomi. Listen, if this is not a 20-minute squash or 20-second squash match, not 20 minutes, this is not going to be a barn burner. This is Jade walking in, stomping mud holes, walking it dry, and leaving. I don't know what we're doing here. Jade needs to come in and straight up annihilate Naomi into another decade and make her a Funkadactyl again. So that's where we're at.
So awesome. What was the other one's name? I always forget her
Cameron.
name. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get Cameron running into Sabre, do you think?
Oh. Double?
She doesn't go by Cameron anymore, by the way. I think she uses her real name on the indies. But I think she still plays up if she's a Funkadactyl.
I mean, you have to play into that. That's your claim to fame at that point.
It really was.
I didn't even know she was still on the indies, to be honest. Yeah. I thought she had quit wrestling.
No, she's still on the indies every once in a while. I see her. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Listen, this is supposed to be, I don't know who's heel in this. They're both heels, essentially, right? I would think.
I mean, I think it's going to get there, yeah. I don't know if it's there yet because people are still sympathetic to Jade somehow. But, yeah.
But she's destroyed everybody.
That's fair.
I still think, though, like, I think you need the sympathetic send Naomi away for a little. I know she was just away for a little bit, but, like, there needs to be separation. Like, she needs to go to the other brand.
Exactly.
Because you can still picture all three of them last year dancing at WrestleMania. They're still going to be coinciding in my mind until one of them completely is off on another brand.
Gets her ass beat. Heads to Raw. We may circle back to her and Bianca at some point.
Naomi and Bianca?
Yeah.
It would be, I think, well after Jade and Bianca.
I don't know. Because there's a comeuppance there, too.
Well, yeah.
I mean, she wormed her way into the group. So I feel like we're getting Bianca, Naomi before we get Jade and Bianca.
Okay. I don't. I think especially with Jade, listen, we've talked longer than this match should last.
Yeah.
But I think Decimation sent, and then no spoiler, but at least somewhere in the summer, these two, because this has been built up since Jade walked into the Royal Rumble 2 years ago. This was the match that was supposed to happen of two big, athletic, strong-ass women going at it. We remember it, but we're slowly forgetting it.
But if you have them dominate the respective brands for the next year, one wins the Rumble, one walks in champion.
Okay. Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
That's next year's.
One of next year's. That could be next year's main event is Jade Bianca.
I'm trying to bend foot behind my breast. That's why I look like a pterodactyl real quick.
All right. Mark's just doing yoga on air, guys. All right.
Yeah.
The match that I didn't think we were going to
winning, by the way.
The match I didn't think we were going to get into a microscope on was the match we got into a microscope on that one. So maybe this one will go quicker. We'll see what happens. LA Knight, Jacob Fatu, the U.S. title. I think it's your selection.
I really have forgotten that LA Knight's the U.S. champion.
Yeah, I think we all have.
So I think it's time not only for LA Knight just to do something fresh without a title and find people that he hates or yas wherever he wants to, but I think it's time for a big fucking monster to run that for a while. I really want to see Jacob just legit by himself. Mm-hmm. You know, we're going to still get Solo or whomever running around with him, but I think Jacob just blossoms more out of this. Not that he's blossomed. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He needs his own run of himself.
Yep. I agree. I think they're going to feud Solo and Jacob around the U.S. title as like a whatever they want to call it type thing. Feud, like a preliminary feud for them. But I think it's Jacob Fatu, and then we're going to get a major program with Solo and him around this title going into SummerSlam or something like that. So, all right. Here we go. Women's World Championship. Charlotte or Tiffy. Now, I think it's my choice first, unfortunately. The brain is telling me this is for Charlotte to get closer to the title record, because I think it puts her at 15 for this one. My heart is saying Tiffy should probably win it to get over and solidify herself as the champion and kind of solidify herself in this thing. But man, these two women have just sent it off the rails, and I have no idea what fucking way they're going to fucking go. Especially with Tiffy being the baby face, I guess you would say in this. I don't even know if that's accurate.
Right now,
yeah, I have no idea. After Gorilla Position podcast, I have no idea. So I don't want to pick it. I'm going to pick it. I think they gave Charlotte another title reign. There's just no. I don't know where to go with this. I would have hoped Tiffy would get a win, a big win to push her stock high. She's not. I think they're just going to give it to Charlotte.
I'm glad you said it that way, because that's where exactly I was going. 100%. Like, yeah, Tiffy won the title. Tiffy cashed in the Money in the Bank to win the title. So is that a big win?
Yeah.
Is it that notoriety win? She's had a couple defenses that were defenses, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
As much as we bitch and moan about Charlotte Flair, and shout out to the caller from months ago that said we need to talk about Charlotte more. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. And I changed the calendar, so I don't have it written down there either to be a weirdo. But she's the gold standard of WWE, right?
Oh, yeah, forced on us, but yeah.
Right, forced on us. But she is.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiffy to get that win is what we all want. I think she's going to get some backlash over the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And they know, okay, no matter how much we hate Charlotte, listen, her reigns last a day and a half usually.
Mm-hmm.
It's just she's going to get that win on her comeback, as I do my air quotes. And maybe the climb for Tiffy back later in the year. I don't think this is wrapped back around to Backlash that quick. It may be SummerSlam. It may be much later than that. End of 2025, I do see Tiffy being champ again. Listen, she's got it. I just, for all the reasons, Flair is the gold standard. Flair is, we can reset from her to anybody else and kind of maybe pseudo-punish Tiffy if they felt she went too far off the tracks. They'll never tell us.
Yeah.
I think the writing's on the wall that something's going to happen because there was way too much out of contact between both.
Yep. Shit rolls down the hill, right? And it gets bigger and bigger.
It does.
And it's the click situation in the sense of you're not going to touch Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, because they're leaving. You're not going to touch the WWE champion. So you're going to pick the one that really hasn't established themselves yet. And that's where Triple H fell, lost the King of the Ring, and had to wait a year. It's the same goddamn concept. They're not going to touch Charlotte. Charlotte is, to your point, the gold standard that they've made. So they're not going to touch her. Tiffy's going to get shit on here, lose traction, probably can come back into the picture next year, but not now. And she's going to lose this and it's going to move forward.
Well, when I said later on in the year, doesn't Queen of the Ring get a title shot now?
Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be longer.
Well, I'm playing it Queen of the Ring because the whole storyline goes that Charlotte's the queen. Tiffy can then say she's the new queen.
Yeah.
The title change could happen in Saudi to kind of bring it over to America then, and everybody's happy. Maybe people don't get the poo-poos on them over here. It's a PR stunt.
100%. I think you're right in that regard. I just don't think they put them back together. I think once WrestleMania ends, they're going to be like, okay, we're going to get the title off Charlotte some other way, and then Tiffy, you can come back around in a year and figure it out.
That's probably truly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Mine's just a...
Yeah, but it makes sense, too. It still makes sense. So, all right. We're at main event time for night one. Projected main event time. It is the triple threat. Roman, Punk, Rollins. Mark.
I get to go first?
You get to go first.
I'm actually excited about that. Ready?
Set.
There's one person I don't want to win this, but there's one person I think that's going to win this.
Okay.
I think it's Seth that actually wins it.
Okay.
I don't want him to win it.
Fair.
For reasons of being a Punk fan in the whole main event that was promised, and then the leaving, and then the AEW, and the hatred I had to Punk, and then just because I love him. I want him to have this moment.
Yeah.
I really want Punk to win this. In my heart. The right thing in my head is saying what you've brought up. Roman's only got a couple. I wouldn't mind Roman winning this and kind of getting just one more. One more. Because maybe he doesn't get more after this because Roman will do Roman/Rock things and help the business.
Yeah.
This would be a huge one for Roman. Max would be excited he'd have his paw up because he's the one. I would be all about that. But I think the right thing to do, Seth, I really do. I don't want him to win it. I've been on and off with Seth just because sometimes he's too much for me, this, that, or the other. So I'm really at a conundrum of who's going to win this. But I do know Paul is going to have a major fucking role in all of this. Seth is the too easy answer of all of this for me.
Yeah.
And we'll fight. I can't wait to hear your stuff so we can fight about this. Not fight, but you know what I mean. I think Seth is the way too easy answer. And who knows what the hell happened on SmackDown right now? Yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I'm going to write Seth. I'm going to write Seth just because more could probably come from Seth winning this.
I'm going Seth too.
Fucker.
There's no. I mean,
I was waiting for some.
There's no. So the only way. Okay. My original thought was there's a collusion between Paul and Seth that we don't know about yet. Because Paul is being torn between Roman and CM Punk right now, right? Rollins and Heyman having these conversations in the ring, these promos back and forth. Rollins essentially 2 weeks ago, well, last week, I guess, 2 weeks ago, took Paul out of the equation, then said, well, I didn't stomp your head in, so now you owe me a favor. I'm not saying this favor's coming into fruition. It's going to be part of this major thing that whatever Paul Heyman's doing here, because Paul's a part of Punk's camp, Paul's loyal to the Tribal Chief, he's not going to try to be loyal to CM Punk, or to Seth Rollins, but he's going to inadvertently probably be loyal to Seth Rollins. That wasn't my original thought for all of this. My original thought was maybe Heyman and Rollins are working together because they're working with The Rock. And what a twist that would be, and what amazing turn of events that would be. I no longer believe that. I just think Paul Heyman is between a rock and a hard place, lack of better terms, and then he's got Seth Rollins behind him chirping and doing whatever on his shoulder. I think he's just going to inadvertently cost Punk and Roman the match, and Seth is going to win it. It's going to be happenstance to end night one. And that may piss off a lot of people, but I think that can actually be the outcome that might be best suited for all involved.
Does this then lead to Roman Punk backlash?
I think so. Because then... Oh, did it turn off? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
I got a message that said I had to switch my microphone for some reason. But I think it could, because now Roman can make the argument, well, you cost me my Wiseman. He was split between you and I, and then all of a sudden Seth came in here and ever the opportunist at that point stole it. And this would be the second time Seth Rollins has stolen a triple threat from Roman Reigns. And the first time was 10 years ago. Conveniently or not, I just connected this dot. It was 10 years ago at WrestleMania 31.
Nice.
That's a full circle moment now.
That's a full circle moment. I took your championship 10 years ago. Okay. Now I took your Wiseman.
And 10
that
years
could be,
later.
And then we could linger into that at SummerSlam or whatever.
Exactly.
But he needs to get rid of Punk first.
And that's where Roman and Punk come into play at Backlash.
And I think that would be great. I
agree. I agree with that too.
Now that we talked it through, I'm all right with it. You had the epiphany, big word by the way. I don't know how the fuck that popped into my head, but the epiphany of 10 years ago.
We're calling this episode WrestleMania Epiphany, by the way. I think that would be a suitable one. Anyways. I literally, as I was talking, just thought about that. That was 10 years ago. That was a triple threat match. Literally, they don't do coincidences anymore.
No.
Levesque with
No.
Triple H. Nothing's a coincidence.
So you're right. As of WrestleMania Night 1, we have one difference. And it's a fucking tag team championship match.
That we don't never give a shit about.
We do!
Well, we do, but in the grand scheme of everything else helping on this card, it's probably the one we least give a shit about.
Right.
Well,
no. We talked way too long about Jade. We can't even, yeah.
Yeah.
Night 2 of WrestleMania.
Yeah. Woo! Alright. Women's triple threat title match. Io, Bianca, Rhea, goes back to me. Bianca and Rhea has been the centerpiece of this story. So why didn't they make it the match that was the title match at WrestleMania? I think everybody would have clamored for it. I think everybody would have loved to see it. They put Io in it. Io is involved, but Io is being little sistered at this point, being pushed out of the way, not considered a part of the alpha female type class here. I think Io steals this title. I think Bianca and Rhea are left with egg on their face because they're too busy trying to fight each other, that Io just up and steals this title and walks out of WrestleMania with it. This is setting up Bianca and Rhea for some time else, either SummerSlam or whatever it is, but right now Io is going to win this match.
I will add to that, and I'm 100% with that. Down the line, Io will not be champion by SummerSlam. One of the other two will.
Right.
I think Rhea needs time away from the championship. She is a monster. Those two are the face of the, I don't give a shit that we said Charlotte's the gold standard. She's not the face of it anymore.
Right.
Bianca and Rhea are definitely the face of it. PR goes through Bianca. Like I said last year, the fans love fucking mommy.
Right.
Completely came out the wrong way, but
Buddy Matthews would like to talk to you. Anyway.
Down the line, whomever beats Io of this, and I would hope it is down the line Bianca that beats Io for this, so mommy has to do the chasing to get a little more oomph. You know, she's got all the oomph, but there's sometimes, even with a ton of oomph, you need to get her back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just from everything. I watched a little bit of WWE, the live thing that they were doing in Vegas. Rhea's the first one out, talks for 10 minutes. Bianca comes out with Rhea still on stage, talks for 7 minutes. Io comes out, no slander, but Io comes in, says like 3 things, boom, that women's segment is over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the translation's still kind of rough with her, but Cole could have talked about more of her stuff. McAfee could have talked more of her stuff. You could have showed some highlights. Like, she is being treated as the stepsister to these two.
Yeah.
She does need a little bit, just another notch on her resume, so that's why I picked Io.
That's fair. And I want to go off of, because I was just thinking about this after you said it. With Rhea chasing the title, Bianca gets it at Backlash. Rhea's chasing it throughout the summer. You mentioned Tiffy and the Queen of the Ring. Rhea and the Queen of the Ring to get back to Bianca at SummerSlam. Chef's kiss, don't put that on.
Yeah.
And I think is it 2 nights this year, SummerSlam? I know it's starting either this year or next.
Is it in Wisconsin or Minneapolis this year?
I thought it was in Minneapolis.
Okay, then it is.
Yep. Okay, so then there's your night 1 main event, basically.
Yeah.
At that point. So, all right. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul.
Let me tell you first and foremost, now that we went over one of the matches that I really wanted to talk about on night 2, there's a lot of shit on night 2 that I don't care about.
Yeah, that's fair. And obviously this is a precursor to one of them, yeah.
Yeah, this is a precursor to one of them. Listen, I want AJ to win, but what does it do for AJ's clout if he gets a win over Logan?
Right.
Essentially. AJ's got everything he needs. He's from TNA to wherever he goes to Japan, even now in WWE, he's a Hall of Famer.
Mm.
I don't care. We haven't seen Logan in a little bit. This is perfect to get him some more heat, have him shit on everybody, carry something over into SummerSlam, Saudi, all these. You're going to start seeing them more because it's time for Logan again.
Right.
I think it'll be a good match. I really do. And I'm not pissing on Logan that he can't wrestle. I'm not on him yet.
Yeah.
I do want to bring up one thing after I hear your thing, though.
Okay. This carrying cross stuff with AJ beforehand, he's put his hands behind the back and took the phenomenal forearm. He's messing with AJ now. And I think it's getting AJ in an overconfident state going into the match with Logan Paul. I agree. I think Logan Paul's winning this. I don't think AJ's primed to win anything at this point. He's just a good hand to put people over with at this point. So,
FYI, carrying cross in Vegas as well. This wasn't the thing I was going to bring up. He was just in the GCW Bloodsport.
Yeah.
Oh.
He lives in Vegas too. So that's another, So could that play into it a little bit? Maybe.
Yeah.
But who knows? But I'm going Logan.
Did you see it, whatever the hell they call it? It used to be WWE WrestleMania Access or whatever Live or wherever you pay $1,000 to go for the day.
Yeah.
See statues and things. You get to wield a chair at Logan Paul.
Yeah, they changed it to Dom today too.
Oh, did they make it Dom today?
Yeah, they made it Dom today. Yeah. I did see that.
It goes from like jobber to rookie to this to that to superstar. I watch a lot of people. Like, they're really hitting this. It's like a crash test dummy if you haven't seen it. It's all over TikTok, first and foremost. I don't know how you've missed it if you're a wrestling fan and you're on TikTok. But people are just waylaying this, like, crash test dummy with a chair. Okay, cool. I'd stand in line to do that.
I think it would be fun to do that.
Yeah.
Just to unload on the fucking thing.
Yeah, I don't care who it was.
Right, put whoever you want in there.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's go Women's Tag Team Championship. Liv and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra. Mark is already protesting this one. I feel like this is Liv and Raquel. They're not going to take the titles off of them. Bayley's turning heel at some point, so why would you give her a title shot? Or give her titles with Lyra? I'm going Liv and Raquel.
I agree. I think this ends up being... I know we just saw Lyra and Bayley for the title, but it was a really good match.
Yeah.
They hugged, they gave fives, they slapped asses at the end of it, but that was the lead to the story. Lyra probably takes the loss in this match, as Liv and Raquel probably pummel them.
Yeah.
And it sets Bayley off, and there's your story that they can defend the title the night before Backlash or something.
100%.
Because, God forbid, the women's mid-titles ever get defended on a pay-per-view.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully, they did the tag titles this time. But they're never going to do the Intercontinental. They're never going to do the United States.
This isn't a knock, because, I love her, but it's because Liv has a tag title right now. Last year, Chelsea and Piper, did they defend them?
No.
Okay.
It's also a way to get, I guess, in all technical space, 3 mid-card women's champions on a card. Because Lyra is the Intercontinental champion.
Right. There you go.
So, technicalities.
Technicalities, just to say that there was so many titles on the card. Not being defended, but they were just on the card.
All right. I'm going to bring us back.
Shout out to you, Roca, though, for winning the Speed Championship this week.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see it?
I didn't see it, yeah.
She beat Candace.
All right. Good job, Roca.
Yeah.
Hey, good job to her. See if anything comes of it.
Unless you watch X.
Yeah.
Don't know that even on it.
If you're not watching X going to give it to you, then you have no idea. But, all right. I'm going to change things up. It's not on this card, but we think it's going to happen anyway, so I'm going to throw it out there. Randall Orton needs a match.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is his match? And let's say that. Let's just leave it at who does he face at WrestleMania? We don't need to predict a winner, but let's pick for fun. This is just a free. Who do we think is picking
up? We're not counting this one?
I don't think we can count this one because we don't know what's going to happen or if it's going to happen.
Okay. Who I really want him to face is Aldis. I think that
100%.
it could be a 100% good match.
Yep.
If he does have a match, though, it's going to be in Solo.
That's fair. I'm going to say, to your point, I think Aldis is too easy of an answer, and I don't think it's going to happen. Solo is the predictable one, but I also think Alistair's out there, could be happening. The countdown's been going on. Rusev has been talked about in passing. Lana may have signed a Legends contract at some capacity. Do with that what you must.
Legends contract. Now I've heard it too, and I did the same thing when I read it.
Yeah, you roll your eyes when you say it, read it, whatever it is. I guess I think Solo is your predictable answer. I'm just gonna hope for like a Rusev Aleister Black.
The downfall is because we at least I love them both. Do you throw one of them to the wolves to Randy? Or is Randy, we can stick and stay on this, because Randy can't prepare for Alistair and or Rusev. Randy taking a loss at WrestleMania, which could possibly be one of, or the last? I know he just said he wouldn't mind signing another 5-year contract, but injuries creep up quick on Randy when they creep up.
Yeah, and they linger for a long time. I would say this. I think he could and would if it was already in the cards with another person. If he was already going to lose to Kevin Owens, and he understands that there's a plan for probably Aleister more than Rusev, and if you think of Aleister Black, Black Mass was a lethal finisher in WWE. He hits that out of nowhere, like the RKO. I think Orton would drop. It would take that loss.
I'll give you that one. I don't. Listen, Rusev left.
Yeah.
Fumbling and stumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Aleister just left when shit was done.
Yep.
If it's Rusev, it could be both. Let's call a spade, because he could say, hey, I have some things for you to do.
Yeah.
And Rusev comes out, eats an RKO, 1, 2, 3, wait, you're in a gauntlet match.
Right.
Send Solo down. Solo gets RKO'd out of nowhere. Hold on. Lights out, Aleister just kicks him in the face. Then Randy gets 2 wins to 1, essentially.
Yeah.
We get 2 returns. I think it instantly buries Rusev, though.
Well, yeah, I don't think Rusev gets any traction. That's why I think he might be the least likely, because I think they would want him to become a brute to run through people.
Yeah.
All right. That was a fun little detour, right?
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that.
All right. So that brings us to the IC Championship. Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn, and Dominic. So I think that actually gives me to me. Okay, so you could give Penta the win. He's the new guy. It establishes him. That's pretty cool. You could give it to Finn. Maybe Finn's going to come out as demonic in nature at some capacity because it's been hinted at some little here and there. You could give it to Braun, who has just been steamrolling people left and right. Or you can give it to Dirty Dom, who's dirty and everybody loves to hate. Well, I'm picking the fun one. I think Dominic Mysterio steals the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania. And I think he steals it from Finn, and that sets up Finn and Dom through SummerSlam.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We spoiled this one last week. We really did. Braun's going to be taken out. Spear into the table or side.
Whatever it is.
And the person's going to move and Braun's going to hurt himself.
Right.
Because he's not going to get hurt in this match.
No.
Because he can move along to take on the Gunther that we think it would be good instead of Jay or something like that, which would be unbelievable. So he's protected in this match. Besides Finn and who's the other one in it? Oh, Penta. Penta's going to get off some cool moves. Yeah. But this is his first WrestleMania. No, sorry.
Yeah, unless you're Undertaker, you're not winning.
He's got a tag team partner to worry about quicker than I think.
Yeah.
Really. Which breaks up Judgment Day. Or it doesn't break up Judgment Day. Finn's gone.
Yeah.
Finn is gone. Dom will only pin Finn in this to win. Dom's winning. Wrap around, okay? I think we do the backlash thing of Finn and Ray. I mean, damn it. Of Finn and Dom. But then Dom starts calling him a better IC champion than his dad ever was, and da-da-da-da-da. This gets it going. After as many times as we've seen it, I don't think it's a WrestleMania match anymore. I don't give a shit if it's career, or title, hair, or mask. I don't think it has the oomph of being a WrestleMania thing anymore. It could be an amazing SummerSlam match, and maybe Ray is ready to go. So I think it's Dom and Ray for the IC title SummerSlam.
That's fair. I think
Dom's going to be fucking amazing as champ, by the way.
Oh, 100%. 100%. But my thing is, I do see this being a WrestleMania match for Ray and Dom, because Ray's already beaten him twice at WrestleMania. Dom would get the third, but it would be the most important win, which would be for Ray's career. I could see them doing Ray and Dom at SummerSlam, but maybe it's Ray gets the title and beats his son, and then it's a swan song type deal, and then Dom comes back and says, listen, old man, I gotta put you out to pasture.
I'm fine with that then. If we're gonna get layers.
Yeah. I think they evolved the Dominic character with this.
Oh, I think we need to a little bit. We all love Dirty Dom, but there needs to be the next step of this kid's going to be, and he's still a kid, he's going to be the next.
Yes, next.
This IC is going to be his practice run of something.
Yep.
In 2-3 years, this dirty motherfucker is going to be running the company.
Exactly.
We're there.
All right.
Again, only one separating it.
Maybe it'll be this one to separate us. Who knows? We got a street fight. Drew versus Damian. Who do you got?
Even though it's a street fight, it may be a bathroom break. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I don't think it is.
Okay. I think it could. I don't know.
Okay.
They both need it.
Yeah.
I think one needs it more, as in Priest, but I think it goes to Drew.
Okay.
Why, I don't know. I don't know. I just think, I don't know. I just think Drew's done a lot at the last couple of WrestleManias and gotten shit on.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets a little bit of alright, this is a random ass card on a random ass WrestleMania late night 2 when people are waiting for what they've heard about for a year.
Right.
A little comeuppance, but nothing, I don't know. You're going the other way, right?
Yeah, I am. I think they'll give it
So
to
we
Damian.
could now tie, which you really
could now tie. You're welcome. You're welcome on that. Because I don't think we're tying in the last one.
No.
But yeah, for me, I think they're still building Damian to be a threat, so they got to have him knock off Drew. That's basically the only reason I'm picking Damian in that.
Are you excited for it?
I think it has the potential to be something good. We've seen what Damian did with Bad Bunny in a street fight. We saw what Drew can do, Hell in a Cell or in any style of match. And Damian has been coming in his own, so I think it could be a very hard-hitting big man fight.
Does one of them lead to Jay?
Maybe as his first defense, although they're both on the opposite brand, so maybe it won't.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
To linger back to this, before we get to the meat and potatoes, essentially, who do we have Jay as first defense against?
I think that depends on what we think's coming out of this WrestleMania. Is it a Damian? Where does it go? Is it, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's on Raw. We have probably a draft coming up here soon, I would assume.
Is it maybe the main event of Backlash, a repeat with Gunther?
Maybe to circle back on it?
Because one of the titles doesn't get defended on Backlash.
Right. And it's probably not going to be...
Jumping into the next match, it's probably not going to be this one.
Right. So they need one. So I'm picking John Cena.
3, 2, 1, we're both picking
John Cena. How we get there, we'll see. But I'll say this.
So what happens if we fucking tie? By the way, we have to carry this over to...
Oh, maybe the Orton one comes into play. Maybe I pick one.
Both have Aldis or Solo.
I didn't say Aldis once. I said, okay, we pick one person and see if that'll give us our tie. We'll use this as a tiebreaker. Who are you picking, Aldis or Solo?
Well, I'm gonna say Solo. Then, for real. I want it to be Aldis, but I'll go Solo. And everybody's out listening to like idiots. If you would have turned on SmackDown as you're recording, you'd know.
So, I don't even know if we know that. I'm going to say this. I'll pick Black, Aleister Black. It's probably not going to be it, and I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot. And this is how I lose the six-pack challenge title. But you know what? Fuck it. Let's go Aleister Black.
Okay, I put one.
All right.
Squiggly lines besides both of it, so we don't have to count it, but we may have to count it.
Yeah. Okay. So we both have Cena. I'm calling it now. Cena's first.
With the pen click, even. Dude, did you hear that, folks?
Cena's not winning this match without The Rock, without, I guess, Travis Scott, and without their newly acquired member, the man that won the World Heavyweight title on night 1, Jey Uso. I think we're getting Yeet out of the way, and then we're getting a fucking screw job. Because Cody and Jey have been like that. Tight. They got drunk at press conferences when they win tag titles. They've been tight. Cody saved Jay after he got kicked out of the bloodline. Brought him to Raw. The Rock is looking for the one in that scenario, and Roman is too fucking obvious of a choice to be the one.
Because I want to jump on this, which takes Cody away from a rematch with Cena until maybe, never, who knows, but quickly away. I knew you were going here.
Yeah.
Away from Cena. So Cena then can maybe have a Punk. Yeah. Can maybe have whomever.
Cena's first title defense, Damian Priest.
Okay.
They're picking, and they're going to pick Jay because they won in the 1C or the 1D or whatever you want to call it. So, there it is.
Cody gets a new title shot at Backlash.
Yep. Cody gets
Doesn't win.
Doesn't win. We're establishing the dominance.
By the Authority or whatever this is going to be called.
Yes. The dominance is established there. They're going to run this until late in the year.
December.
Cena will eventually become face again. It could be when he gets set off into the sunset. And Cody's going to take the title back at some point.
Mom's home, by the way.
Yeah, she's pulled in.
Because you can always hear Bailey, but you can't hear Charlie.
And he's losing his ever-loving mind.
Mom's home!
Mom's home!
The bonus, though, out of all of this is, Yanks can watch it live. We can chit-chat tomorrow night during it, which makes for both of us to have a great fucking pay-per-view, because we've missed chit-chatting over. Yeah. They're just really stupid, like a one-liner sentence, but we both know what we're saying right off the bat.
Exactly, yeah.
And it just puts all our stories together. We'll see who wins night one, who wins night two, who wins it all. I don't know. Who's the new champ going forward in 2025?
Just hoping for a clean sweep.
There has not been a clean sweep in a long time.
That's true. That is 100% true. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, agents, we will know by the end of the Sin City Street fight who is the Can Crushers champion. If that is on night 2.
I would imagine it is.
I think it is.
Night 1, again, as I say, looking at stuff on paper, I am definitely more excited about tonight as you guys are listening. Yes. I want to see top to bottom besides 2 I'm interested in. I really am.
Yeah, I would agree.
The main event is the meat and potatoes. The car wreck is Flair and Tiffy, which I was excited for, but who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Shock us.
Mm-hmm. Turn this into a 5-star classic.
Wait,
what did you say? Wait, what were you saying?
I was saying shock us about night number 1 first match. But you're jumping on saying making a 5-star classic Flair?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think that's going to happen.
Me either.
I don't. I'm saying shock us by keeping the title on Gunther. Because then everything we just said 2 minutes ago is blown out of the water. It would be apropos. 25 minutes into WrestleMania, Jay is selling shirts out the ass, and the people that don't listen to podcasts or read stuff or have their own crazy ass theories, 24 hours, 36 hours, we'll roll it a little bit more, 36 hours later, are burning his shit like Cleveland burned LeBron James's stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want Gunther to keep the title. I really do. But to have him win it one night and then just completely shit on everybody the next night, there's got to be some controversy in this.
Oh, great. Completely agree. I think it would be, if they don't throw controversy in this, then what was the whole point of Cena and The Rock? Right? This night to WrestleMania 41 ends with the heels standing tall. That's the way it needs to be. And if it is Jey Uso that turns heel, this adds a whole new element to the end of the Rumble, because I think it was all a fix since the beginning.
Yeah. Can we have a year of craziness? Because this would build for a year of craziness that we could play off of stuff that we couldn't predict for next year's then.
Yes. 100%.
No matter what, Cena is getting this title. I don't care. But it all relies on Jey. You want him to be main event?
Put him in the main event.
Really turns into main event then.
Sells his soul for the main event. You know what? I'm going to throw this out there. Gunther destroys his ass. Cody Rhodes beats John Cena. The Rock has all the power in his hand, and he throws Jey Uso into the mix to just pick the bones of whatever Cody Rhodes is left. Like, Jey comes out, they're celebrating, and The Rock says, cut his throat and end it.
It's not as good as what we just predicted. I'm okay with it, but it's not.
It's not, but it's a possibility.
It is. But to have another champion, your champion now, come and just screw the other champion, and you have...
Oh, but here's the thing. I'm also saying, or are you talking about the original theory?
The original theory.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that adds layers to layers on that one, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But I'm all right with you. Listen, I'm all right. Cody has to lose. It doesn't matter that it doesn't matter that it is John Cena. You could have plugged anybody into this year. That's the downfall.
Yeah.
It's just Cena's last year, so he's going to get it. It leads for stuff for Jey then. Mm-hmm. Jey can then, unfortunately, fight his brother because why did you do this? We were doing this. Maybe Jey Roman wraps back around. Da-da-da-da-da. Is there more members into this? Is there more members into this, Jenks, by the way?
I think there could be. Could be a Wiseman or two.
I was going to say, is there anybody involved from night one's main event? Maybe doesn't get involved, but they're really quickly looped into this.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Who is all involved into this? Do we get Stone Cold? Rumored. Do we get The Rock? Guaranteed. Do we get, others?
Yeah. Probably. Probably going to be blood.
Almost like a, what is it? The
Bloodline rules. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially.
It's going to be spectacle.
I'm excited for it.
Me too.
At 11:30 on Sunday night.
Lots of coffee that night.
What do you have for your little partay? Anything special before we wrap this bitch up?
Little partay. Gonna have probably some buffalo chicken dip. Nothing too crazy. Some beers. Some relaxation. That's about it. What about you?
I went and did some grocery shopping today. Laugh at me. I got some salt and vinegar potato chips that I'm really excited to rip open one of the nights. I got some more beers, as you guys clearly heard. And I got myself a shrimp cocktail ring
Ooh. I've been thinking of getting one. Yeah.
I will plow that down. The downfall is like
you destroy that.
I'll destroy it in probably the Jade Cargill match.
That shrimp cocktail is underrated.
It so much is. It is. It's so damn expensive.
Yep.
You get a little ring for like $25, and within 25 seconds,
it's gone.
You gone.
And it was the best $25.
It was
at that moment.
Just boom. You got anything big plans over the week besides your nightmare of wedding stuff?
Wedding planning. That's where we're at. Mental health first aid training on Monday, so loving that. Getting ready for that. Tell everybody about that when we get through it. I think that in wedding stuff is just the bulk of the week right now. What about you?
I'm on second shift this week. It is town spring cleanup. So we get to stand by dumpsters and help people throw everything away. As you heard over the months and everything that we've lost a lot of people at work. We've gained minimal people at work. One of 3 people that have been there since last year's. So the bosses are now doing daytime shift. They're like, kind of need you and one of the newbies to do nighttime. Okay. Which eliminates, this is a downfall, which eliminates some amazing softball games that were on the docket for me this week. Because it's supposed to be a beautiful week down here, which sucks.
Yeah,
it's great that it's going to be beautiful, but I mean, I'm sad that I don't get to do some of the big games that were planned for this week. They'll still be on, but they just won't be on the radio with me. So, yeah, I don't know. You got to keep the normal schedule of waking up when Max needs to go to the bathroom at 4:30 in the morning, and then I don't know, play video games before work.
Yeah, you're gonna have time.
Yeah,
you're gonna have the time.
So, and there's nothing to do in the morning, is there? Like, what do you do in the mornings? Am I watching Oprah or Springer or something?
But Maury's not on anymore, so you can't watch that. So.
Jenks, I love you. It's WrestleMania weekend. Let's rip this shit up.
Love you too. Let's do it. Let's hit that. Let's get it.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them.
Because you never know.
Whoop, whoop.